road trip. Yeah! So there's a music festival this weekend in what we call the Annapolis Valley of Nova Scotia, a beautiful part of the province. And a friend of mine by the name of Bruno, very talented guy, he has like an African drumming group called the Juk Juk Ensemble. Juk Juk. DJUG, I think it is. And he has an open invitation to a parade to come play music, percussion in a parade. And I gave myself permission to leave the city and go enjoy this for a few hours. So stay tuned. I'll show you some sights and sounds from the Annapolis Valley and from some music with friends.
Thanks.
So we're approaching an area called Grand Pre, and this is where the Acadians, the original French settlers in Nova Scotia, were rounded up by the British in 1755 and were expelled from this area. It was a terrible human rights thing, different era, of course, and many of them ended up in Louisiana. And there's a great connection between Grand Pre here in Nova Scotia and Louisiana. Fascinating story, well worth checking out. And you may be familiar with the poem Evangeline as well by William Wordsworth Longfellow. So that's also from Grand Pre. And that's actually where the word Cajun comes from. It comes from Acadian or Acadien in French, en français. Acadien, Acadian, Cajun. So that's the connection. Like I said, it's fascinating. This is apple orchard territory. And vineyards and wineries. So this town is called Wolfville, and it's the home to Acadia University, quite a well-known and very good quality university here in Nova Scotia. You can look it up. And I think they've got an awesome football team. I'm not a sports guy, so I don't know. You'll notice in this video some of the trees are changing color. And that's quite early this year. The reason being that we had a drought, very dry year. And it started this change early. So here's my outfit for the event. As you can tell, it's got a sort of a purple theme. It has a real small town feel, very, very quaint.
They literally said that.
Okay, I think I found my friends. These are my people.
Oh, sorry, is that
spirit of the goat, sometimes calf, and of the maker. So, you know, whether that's what we believe in or not, it's good to acknowledge that there's a certain sanctity to these drums to people. So we want to treat them with a certain sanctity, with a certain amount of respect. As you can see, we're not from West Africa. We have a great, well, most of us aren't from West Africa. One of us is. We have a great appreciation for these rhythmic traditions, but we're limited in the depth of understanding that we can have for the culture from which they come. So if you like what we're doing here, we encourage you to seek opportunities to do this as close to the source as possible, you know? Okay, so thank you very much. Now, Let's drum. So step one, sit at the edge of your seat. Here to honor our branches that reach down below. They hold us up and guide our growth. They feed us from a deeper source. And we're gonna go like this when you do that.
Well, that was super fun. And the guy who organizes that, his name is Bruno Allaire. And he's just, I mean, he's an amazing guy. He's full of talents and energy and drive, and he understands community and all that stuff. So what a treat it was to do that. Today is a good day. Carolyn is with Heather this morning at Northwood. She's having lunch with her. And then this afternoon, we're going for a walk, family walk with a niece and nephew and their kids that are in from out of town. And so there we go. I'm so glad I did that. It charged my batteries. And Wolfville has always been a happening spot, you know, not just because of the university, but because of the agricultural industry, and it's just it's a spectacular place. They've had various resource industries over the years too. I don't know what they are, but typical stuff. And but other towns in Nova Scotia over the years started to die and stagnate, and we didn't have much population growth. Well, in the last since COVID, maybe before COVID, certainly during COVID, people flocked to Nova Scotia from other provinces and internationally as well. We had a great in immigration influx, as we have had on and off in waves over the centuries. So these small towns that were stagnating and dying have come to life. It's quite something to witness. It's a renaissance of sorts. And on the one hand, it's beautiful to see these towns come. On the other hand, the impact on real estate values has made it very hard for people who were expecting to get into the housing market to now find an affordable place to buy. So that's tough, especially I look at young couples who went to university, worked for a few years and thought, okay, we have a down payment, now we can buy a house. And suddenly these formerly affordable properties are completely unattainable now. They're out of reach because people are coming here sometimes with a lot of money, and they're snapping up these old rural properties and small town properties at premium prices. So it's a double-edged sword, I guess, but that's the way it is, I think, in a lot of areas. But Wolfville is a beautiful spot.